In 12 days, Google is holding its biggest event of the year. And if the leaks are accurate, what they announced could make ChatGPT feel like a flip phone. I'm talking about Google I/O 2026. And I've spent the last few days going deep on everything that's been reported, leaked, and confirmed. And I want to walk you through exactly what's coming, what it means, and honestly, why I think most tech channels are underselling how big it is. Stick around because there's one announcement in particular that I think changes the entire AI landscape overnight. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Really glad you're here for this one. If you're new, hit subscribe and ring that bell because we cover AI news and tech every single week. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. All right, let's get into it. If you're new here, this channel covers AI tools, workflows, and the tech shifts that actually matter for creators and businesses. I'm not here to hype every GPT wrapper that drops. I'm here to cut through the noise. Google I/O is May 19th, and this year the bar is higher than it's ever been because OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta all have massive launches in the past 6 months. Google is under real pressure to remind the world that they were the original AI company. Let's see if they deliver. So what's actually confirmed or strongly rumored? Let me break it down. First, Gemini 4.0. This is the one everyone's watching. Gemini 3.0 already closed the gap significantly with GPT-4o in benchmarks. Gemini 4.0 is expected to go further with what Google is calling deeper agentic capabilities. That means it doesn't just answer questions, it takes actions, it books things, runs code, makes decisions across apps all on its own. Now here's where it gets interesting. Google has something OpenAI doesn't. A billion device distribution network. Android phones, Chrome, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Search. If Gemini 4.0 is natively embedded across all of those devices, and the leaks suggest it will be, you're not choosing to use AI anymore. It just lives everywhere you already are. That's a fundamentally different product strategy than OpenAI's. Second, Android AI integration. We're expecting deep Gemini integration into Android at the OS level. Not a chatbot you open, an assistant that observes your screen, understands your context, and acts. Think schedule a meeting based on email, and it just does it without you touching anything. Third, hardware. Google has been tight-lipped, but there are credible reports of a new Pixel hardware with AI-specific chips, and potentially a new Gemini native smart home device. The Nest line hasn't had a serious refresh in years, and an AI native home hub would be a direct play against Amazon and Apple. Here's what I don't think most people are talking about enough. The ChatGPT mobile app has been the dominant AI experience on phones for the last 2 years. Apple is still trying to figure out Apple Intelligence. It has been underwhelming, let's be honest. And OpenAI doesn't control the OS layer. Google does. If Gemini 4.0 becomes the default AI assistant on every Android device, and Android has over 70% of the global smartphone market, that's not a product launch, that's a platform shift. Think about how Google search won the internet. It wasn't because it was so much better than everything else. It was because it was the default on every browser, every device, every starting point. Google is trying to do the same with Gemini, making it the default starting point for AI on every surface they control. For creators and businesses, this matters for one very specific reason. If the AI assistant that billions of people use every day is Gemini, and Gemini is curating answers, making recommendations, and completing tasks, then the question of what Gemini recommends becomes the new SEO. We're going to be talking about Gemini optimization the way we talk about search engine optimization 10 years ago. That's not hype, that's where this is going. Okay, now I want to be fair because I'm not here to be a Google hype machine. Google has a track record of building impressive demos that don't translate to real-world experiences. Remember Google Duplex? Incredible demo in 2018, went almost nowhere at scale. Google Stadia? Dead. Google Glass? Dead. Google Plus? You get the idea. The risk with Google I/O 2026 is exactly the same. They show you a polished demo of Gemini booking a restaurant, handling your emails, and running your calendar, and then you download it and it hallucinates your dentist appointment and sends you a weird email to your boss. The gap between what AI demos look like and what AI actually does in production is still wide, and Google's consumer rollouts have historically been bumpy. The other risk? Regulation. The EU has already flagged AI assistant integration into operating systems as a potential antitrust issue. If Gemini is pre-installed as the default AI on Android devices, there's a real argument that it uses monopoly power to crowd out competitors. That fight could slow or complicate other rollouts significantly in Europe. So, high upside, real risks. Here's exactly what I'm watching for on May 19th. 1. Does Gemini 4.0 show genuine multimodal reasoning on stage? Not just image recognition, actual reasoning chains involving images, documents, and live data simultaneously. That's the real benchmark. 2. What does on-device AI look like? If they can run a genuinely useful Gemini model locally on a Pixel without a cloud connection, that's a privacy breakthrough that changes how enterprises and developers can use it. 3. Pricing. OpenAI's competitive advantage right now is partially just price and familiarity. If Google announces a Gemini Advanced tier at a lower price point than ChatGPT Plus or bundles it into Google One, that's a direct attack on OpenAI's subscription revenue. 4. The developer tools. Google has a massive developer ecosystem. If the Gemini API gets significantly better, more affordable, or has breakthrough features, that's what actually shifts where apps get built. I'll be watching the keynote live and doing a breakdown the same day, so subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Look, Google I/O might underwhelm. It's happened before. But the structural moves they're making, Gemini on Android, AI at the OS level, hardware integration, this is a multi-year strategy, not a one keynote moment. And whether Google nails it or stumbles, the direction is clear. The AI assistant wars are moving to the platform layer, and Google has more platform than anyone. If you found this useful, subscribe. I do breakdowns like this every week. And drop in the comments, are you more bullish or bearish on Google's AI ambitions? I read every comment. See you on the next one.